Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Nightsos video. And today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while. Vinland Saga. It's one of those series that had left a lasting impact on me, both as a fan of anime and as someone who loves a good story. Whether it's anime or the manga, Vinland Saga hits on so many levels. And not only did they make a fantastic anime, but they transferred the fantastic manga, they transferred it so well to anime, to screen. It's fantastic. So in this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on both the anime and the manga, and how they affected me, and what makes the story so powerful and impactful. So, I got into Vinland Saga after watching a Gigguk video. Before that, I hadn't really seen any clips of it on my YouTube timeline or really anywhere. And I just decided, hey, I love watching Gigguk videos. He's making one about this anime, so let's dive right into it. After watching the video, I found myself getting super intrigued by the Viking setting, the battles, and the story. But it wasn't until later that I discovered Vinland Saga was a masterpiece created by Makoto Yukimura and Studio Wit. I decided to dive into the anime first, and from the very first episode, I was locked in. The world building is so rich, and the way that Yukimura blends historical events with deeply personal stories was unlike anything I had seen before. You get these incredible battles, but also these quiet, introspective moments that hit hard on a spiritual and mental level. That balance is what really drew me in. The scene of Thorfinn losing his father was a great battle spectacle, but also an instant understanding of what this show is truly setting up. You, from the start to finish, scenes of battles and lines of dialogues that make you not only feel for the character, but truly get into their mindset. And then the theme of Vinland Saga, the exploring complex human emotions, the struggles of people, it's something they do so very well. At the heart of the story, there's Thorfinn, who goes through an incredible transformation. A revenge-driven young warrior at the start is so different from the man he becomes later. And honestly, the journey of growth really hit me in ways I didn't expect. It's like Yukimura takes you on a ride where you feel Thorfinn's anger, guilt, and sense of helplessness. But as the story progresses, you start seeing the consequences of revenge, the toll it takes on someone, the search for meaning in a violent world. That's what I think makes Vinland Saga stand out. It doesn't glamorize violence, it shows the brutal reality of it. And I found myself thinking a lot about the idea of cycles of violence, how hard it is to break them, how often people get caught up in them without even realizing they're repeating history. As violence cycles, so do we, and we must be strong enough to break the cycle. Then there's Askeladd. Honestly, this guy is one of the most fascinating characters I've come across in any medium. He's cunning, he's ruthless, and he's even manipulative. But at the same time, he's so much more than that. Askeladd challenges Thorfinn in so many ways, and I found his philosophical outlook on life to be just as impactful as Thorfinn's personal journey. Askeladd has this tragic sense of purpose. There's levels of wisdom in his character that I didn't expect, especially in someone who lives in such a hard and violent life. His relationship with Thorfinn is like a twisted fatherhood, and at the same time, Askeladd's backstory adds so much depth to his character, making him one of the most memorable figures in the series for me. He also takes the role of father figure in a different light. He guides Thorfinn to become a true warrior, but not in the way that Thor's would have. Yet he still reaches that conclusion. Now, let's talk about how Vinland Saga has impacted me personally. I think one of the biggest things I've taken away from the idea of redemption and what it means to truly live. Thorfinn's quest for revenge mirrors a lot of the internal struggles that we go through. the desire to prove ourselves, to settle past wrongs, but ultimately, meaning in life is so much more complex than just seeking vengeance. To be real, there have been moments when I found myself relating to Thorfinn's frustrations, or even his external crisis. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of seeking revenge or chasing goals that don't really bring fulfillment. But Vinland Saga reminds me that finding peace, healing, and purpose often requires letting go of that anger, no matter how hard it is. In our world, we allow emotions to fuel our actions, when reasonable thought should guide us to the right choices. Things like ego, anger, sadness, fear, and others control us in such a deep level that it seems like we can't escape. But we are stronger than what we believe. Your mind, your heart, your soul reach inside. Change comes from within. So yeah, Vinland Saga has been a wild ride. It's more than just a story about Vikings and war. It's about growth, identity, and finding redemption in a world that often feels broken. Whether you're into action-packed stories or deep character-driven narratives, I think there's something for everyone here. At the end of the day, Vinland Saga isn't just an anime or a manga to me. It's something that's changed the way I view certain aspects of life. The series has its flaws, of course, but the emotional weight it carries is something that will stick with me for a long time. Thanks for hanging out with me for today and hearing my thoughts. If you haven't checked out Vinland Saga yet, I highly recommend giving it a try. And if you have already seen it, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you have to say about Vinland Saga, what your thoughts are, and if you liked it, if you hated it, or whatever. And if you could, please leave a like on this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. It's been your boy Nightsos. Peace.